Hello, good afternoon. I'm Amy Jackson. I am director of the Perch, and I wanted to come on today and provide another resource for you for soul care in this time. Um, I want to talk today specifically about Labyrinth Prayer, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it is an ancient kind of prayer that literally has been used for centuries. The whole idea was that um, there is a lot of power, there's a lot of meaning as we take a pilgrimage. And so people were at the time taking pilgrimages to the Holy Lands, taking pilgrimages to ancient sites that where Jesus had been or the apostles had been. And at the same time, it wasn't very feasible for a lot of people to do that. Travel at that time would have been very difficult. Cost wise, it would have been very difficult as well. And so they created this tool called a labyrinth to help kind of simulate this idea of a pilgrimage or a journey and something that you could do right where you were, right in your home. And I love the idea that you don't have to put on your shoes, you don't have to leave your house, and yet you can take this journey. And I don't know about you, but being stuck inside, that sounds especially lovely to me. And so I wanted to share just a little bit about Labyrinth, give a couple of ways you can do Labyrinth Prayer, and then talk to you about a free tool that I want to offer to you during this time. So if you've been to the Perch, you've probably seen these, or you've heard me talk about them, or maybe you've had a chance to use them. And this is a bamboo finger labyrinth. And these happen to come with a little stylus because they have this kind of grooved path. And it's really cool. The whole idea is it looks like a maze, but you can't actually get lost. There's only one way in, and it circles around and brings you right back out. But the idea is that you start down at the bottom with your stylus or your finger, and you trace it around, and you trace it really slowly. And eventually, as you trace, you will kind of end up, you'll see in this middle spot, and then it'll trace you back out, and it'll take you all the way back out. So what is the point of this? How does it become a prayer? The idea is, again, to simulate a journey. And so as that, we can reflect on our journey and use it as a reflection tool. So what I often say when I talk about labyrinths is as you're tracing in, you want to kind of reflect on what kind of journey you have been on and how God has been showing up in that journey. When you and maybe what things you kind of need to put down or let go of in the midst of that journey. When you get to the middle, I encourage people just to rest and spend time in the middle. That's where you're just with God, in God's presence, and just enjoy that peace and calm. And then whenever you're ready, to trace back out, and as you do that, to reflect on what you need going forward. If you're going to continue on this journey, what do you need from God? What do you need to pick up so that you have the strength and the sustenance to carry on? So that's one way you could absolutely use it. Another way to do this would be to really reflect on, what has this past week been like for me, this journey, this past week. And, I think this is a great tool if you're familiar with Prayer of Examine. This could be a really great accompanying tool. So the whole idea is to reflect on my past week and say, where did I see God? Where did I miss God? What's going on? How is God showing up in my life? How am I feeling about this week? And just to really use it as a tool to reflect on the past week. As you get to the center, you can kind of give all those things to God and just be with God and soak up that peace and calm and beauty and love. And then on your way back out, kind of establish yourself as you carry on and go back into the journey and go back into the time that we are in right now. So you could again, you could reflect on what has this journey been like for me? What has this week been like for me? You could say, what do I need to put down so that I can more fully see God and be with God in my day-to-day life? How has God been showing up in my life, especially in this past week? Then spend that time in the middle, enjoying God's presence. And then as you circle back out, reflecting on, what do I need going forward? How can I connect with God in more regular ways? And what do I need to kind of pick up as I head back into my regular life? So I share this bamboo one because you can get this online, actually have it delivered to your house. So I'll be sure to share a link for where you can get that. But even easier and even simpler is I have a free PDF that I am going to share a link for you. And you can go to my store, get that for absolutely free, download it yourself. You can use it at home. It is black and white and really simply designed so that you can print it easily and inexpensively. But even if you don't have a printer at home, you can use it on a tablet, or anywhere you can view a PDF and you can just trace it with your finger or a stylus. And so I wanted to make that resource available for you. It also gives the basic instructions for how to use a labyrinth on that sheet. So I'll make sure to share the link to that resource in the comments. And then finally, I wanted to say that labyrinths actually are also created in kind of walkable patterns. So they're big and you can find them in a lot of places. And so wherever you are locally, there probably is one. A lot of times there are places like convents or places where people are gathering to pray. Some churches actually have them. If you are local to me here in Aurora, there's actually a really beautiful one that's made out of paver bricks at Aurora University. And I just walked over there the other day and enjoyed the scenery and took some pictures. And it's totally free to access, and anyone can go on there. It's actually on the outskirts of campus. It's on the corner of Evans Lawn and Prairie. And so if that's something that interests you, if you want to take a walk, if this weather gets a little bit warmer, you can head over there and walk that as well. It's at the Wackerland Center. So again, it's at the corner of Evans Lawn and Prairie, and it's just open to the public. You can just go. There's no gates or anything like that. You can just walk right up to it. There's also one at Marion Joy. I have never personally visited that one, but I know there is one, and many people have told me about it, which is in Wheaton. And so if you're in that area, you can also drive right up to that and walk that as well. So I wanted, again, just a really great tool to help reflect on journey and spending time with God. And so I wanted to provide a few different ways that you could engage that type of prayer. So that's all I've got for today. I hope you are enjoying your Sunday. I hope that you get some time to just reflect and see where you're at today after this week, how you're doing emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. And I just would encourage you to be gentle with yourself today and to spend some time doing some soul care, whether that's using Labyrinth Prayer or using one of the other resources I've been talking about, or just simply sitting still and being and listening for God's voice. I hope that you'll have a chance to take care of your soul today. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.